let's speak to Alex Wilson, Reform UK London Assembly member, joins me now. Good afternoon, Alex.
Good afternoon, James.
So, why should we care as to how many members a political party has?
It's hugely important for politics in this country to show that the Conservative Party no longer have a monopoly on the right of centre British politics. You know, in terms of membership now, we have surpassed them. In fact, while we're speaking, I'm very confident that we'll have gone exactly 11,000 members past the total that they declared when they had their leadership election. I've got the counter up in front of me. It's ticking along quite happily. But it's also about the polling and about by-election results. You say
ticking along, but then that's the accusation by Kemi Badenoch, who says you're just using an automated ticker to sort of pick up your numbers. And until or unless Reform actually can genuinely demonstrate, it's just a lot of noise, isn't it?
Well, I've got some breaking news for you, James. We have, of about 10, 15 minutes ago, confirmed that the Times, Telegraph, Spectator, Sky News have all been shown the inside of our back end, the system, and confirmed that the numbers are accurate. It's a perfectly valid and verified way of publicising these numbers. So okay. I think it's time for Kemi to apologise. I think she has basically accused Nigel of fraud, which is a very serious allegation to make with no evidence to back it up. We've shown the evidence today that actually these numbers are correct. They're still shooting up. And I think, it's time for Kemi to apologise.
OK, so people are joining Reform, fine. But this is, 140,000 odd members. We've got, last time I looked, we had about 70 million people in this country. Outside of politics, genuinely, nobody cares how many members you have.
What matters is that by having this huge surge of members, it also brings new enthusiasm, new volunteers, new activists, and a whole cohort of potential candidates that will stand for us in elections from now until the next general election. So for Parliament, for the Senate in Wales, for Holyrood in Scotland, and crucially, assuming the government doesn't conspire with some of the leaders of the county councils to cancel the elections next year, the county council elections that are coming up in May, huge opportunity for us to get that real foothold in local government, which we want to follow the model that the Lib Dems have followed so successfully, using local government as a base to then build local groups, local campaigns that you can then translate into parliamentary success. We know at the general election, our vote was very inefficiently distributed. Obviously, we won those 5 seats. We came third in terms of national vote share. Lib Dems got fewer votes than us, but significantly more seats. We're learning from their campaigning techniques, obviously not from their policy, because they're a million miles of us on all sorts of issues, but in terms of the campaigning, the infrastructure, the practical approach to winning political campaigns, that's the model we're looking to follow. And that's why this surge in membership is so important, because it's the local organisations, the local campaigns on the ground will help us translate that into parliamentary seats at the next general election.
Now, just picking up what you said, Nigel Farage has threatened to take legal action against the Tory leader, Kemi Badenoch, if she does not apologise for accusing him of publishing a fake ticker showing Reform UK's membership increasing to overtake the Conservatives. The Reform UK leader has reacted furiously to Ms Badenoch's assertion that he was manipulating his own supporters with a ticker that is coded to tick up automatically after it showed the insurgent right-wing party had gone past 131,680 members in the number of eligible Conservative Party members in its leadership election in the autumn. So all sorts of excitement there, I guess, and I suppose it's a political story that continues to blow. One of the things that Nigel Farage did say is that he had to professionalise his party. As with any political party, there are fringes. There are fringes which are, shall we say, unsavoury. There are fringes which are perhaps not towing the party line. What's Reform doing to detoxify?
What we've done is we're as part of the wider professionalisation of the party, both from the ground up and at headquarters, we're revamping our vetting procedures, making sure that every candidate that wants to stand for us will be far more closely scrutinised than they were perhaps for the general election. But by having this large surge of membership, that gives us obviously a much greater pool of candidates to choose from, so we can make sure that every candidate we put up in elections going forward is someone that is a true, sensible and representative of their local community, whether that be for council or whether that be for Parliament. Now, I can just confirm we have indeed now surpassed by 11,000 the number of Tory party membership. That the ticker now says 142,686. It's another huge milestone for us. We've had more people signing up in the last 24 hours than in any 24-hour period since the party began. So thank you, Kemi, for drawing attention to our membership drive, and long may it continue.
You talk about scrutinise. What are you scrutinising people for? What are the attributes that you don't wish them to have?
Well, with any party that wants to put candidates up to represent their communities, you obviously need to look at their history, their social media, but also their capabilities and their experiences. We want to put forward a slate of candidates that are grounded very much in the real world, that have done real professional jobs, run businesses, worked in public service. We are not a party of career politicians. When I joined Reform 3.5 years ago...
That doesn't answer my question, though. What are the things that you would like to... When people say detoxify, I'm assuming that we're talking about people who are sexist or racist or homophobic or various other characteristics that you would like to see. What are the characteristics that you don't wish to see in your party?
We are a party that wants to be inclusive, and we value the contribution that everybody makes to society. So, those kind of views, racist, sexist, those sort of views are not welcome. And Nigel and Richard and Zia have made that very, very clear. So,
and homophobic as well?
Absolutely.
Because I think that's the other thing is that... Sorry, carry on.
So, if Reform was a homophobic party, I wouldn't be a member. I'm happily married to my husband, have been for the last year and a half, and there were a very large number of Reform members and supporters at my wedding. So if Reform was a homophobic party, I simply wouldn't be part of it.
And just finally to you, in terms of the mountain that you have to climb, I guess until or unless something happens to the Tory party, yes, OK, so you've surpassed them in terms of number of members. But we all know, because of the first-past-the-post system that we currently have, you may very well find yourself in a situation where you could be running a very close second, many seats up and down the country. But because of that Tory vote, because of other votes, it means that Labour may very well stay in power, even though they have maybe 30, 31, 32% of the vote. How are you going to deal with that?
Well, that's why it was so important in July this year that we won not just one, not just two, not three, not four, but 5 constituencies. So we showed that in multiple constituencies, even under first past the post, we can win. There were probably another 2 or 3 million people that were seriously thinking about voting for us in July, but chose not to because they thought it was a wasted vote. They thought we couldn't win. But because we've now shown that we can, and we've surpassed both in vote share, in raw votes, and in seats won, we've smashed what UKIP achieved in 2015, and we're now doing that in council by-elections as well. So even under first past the post, which we agree is a system which is designed to stop new insurgent parties breaking through, but even under that system now, we're starting to win seats. And that's why the county council elections in May next year are so important. So we can show, using those elections, that we can do that right across the country. Then that sets things up very nicely for 2029 in the general. Well,
we will see what happens. Alex Wilson, Reform UK, London Assembly member, thank you very much indeed for joining us here on Talk this afternoon.